Hello everyone, welcome back to Lovecraft with Cass. Sorry, voice just this bit. I am Cass, and I have started on another project. So I've got a handful of half-done videos with half-done projects, but that's okay. I started this during Annie Claxton's Saturday Night Live, and she challenged everyone to do something as mixed media, and I was kind of sat there going, oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm really struggling to, well, I had been struggling. I seem to be better than I was, like, when I was recovering from my trip. So I seem to be a bit more lucid, if that makes sense. So I was like, oh, what can I do? And it was kind of, I've got all these things I want to catch up on. Now I don't have a set project, so stuff I can just do for the rest of the year is just whatever I want to do, which is really, really exciting. So, but that's too many options, which I can, like, short circuit my brain sometimes. So for the for during the live, which is 2 hours, and it's England Saturday night, but here it's 5 a.m. on Sunday morning, so I don't always get to them, but I did get to this one because sadly I haven't slept since Thursday. Insomnia, PTSD, what are you gonna do? But I have been working on several different craft projects, hence the quite a few half videos, and I will finish them up because I'm really enjoying doing this, and I'm enjoying videoing and just, you know, kind of coming to hang out with you guys. It's like it really, I like it. It's if it's something that you've been thinking about doing, like, you know, you do crafting and you're like, oh, I'd really love to do that, but if you're anything like me, the last few years are like, no, like, seriously, that YouTube does not need another crafter on there, and, you know, kind of went up, but it just stayed, like, oh, I just want to do this. Do it. You're just telling your story, like, go for it. I recommend it. And, you know, if you're doing it in this way and people are connecting with your content, like, it feels less isolating, because I struggle to go out and interact with the world at large on a day-to-day basis. Going to England was just very out of my comfort zone, but I was very comfortable with the people I met, so it was fantastic. But just day-to-day stuff, I wouldn't just go to the shops or anything. Like, I struggle to go walking around the neighbourhood because of all the traffic and noise and stuff. So I'm finding this is really helping me engage, because people are sending me messages. Well, you know something? I've got like over 190 subscribers. I remember when I was excited when I got 2. Like, I'm not doing this for the numbers, and, you know, I genuinely am not, because I hadn't been tracking the numbers of my subscribers, and so if you have subscribed, or you've liked a video or made a comment, thank you so much. I do really appreciate you engaging with my content. It does make me feel like heard, and like engaging with other craft community like-minded people, and it's really important when you struggle to just go out the door. I'm pointing that way because, you know, outside's that way, and interact. I don't have groups. I can't work because of medical issues and the PTSD stuff. So I'm at home on my own a lot, and I am enjoying this. Like, I was just happy enough watching other people, you know, especially when I connected with Catherine's videos and then Annie's videos, and you know, I was happy enough to watch that and engage in their community. And I absolutely will credit this huge spike in my subscriptions to being involved in the K3N community. All those lovely people, I'm fairly sure, have come from the K3N community, because, well, I honestly don't know what my numbers were like before. I just know in the little graph thing it shows, it goes, push. that's it. So, so I can show you what I started working on. So during the live, I was like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Anyway, so if anyone out there is following Annie Claxton's YouTube channel, which I will put a link in my description box below the picture. So I bought that I own that particular digital copy. So I'm not going to share it because, you know, if you want to do something like that, you can go to Annie's. It was £2, I think, which I have no idea what that is in Australian currency. Probably $3 or $4 maybe. So, and there was other animals. It's a whole sea menagerie thing. So Annie's doing a underwater world month thing with fishes and octopus, and I think there's a lobster. Is there a lobster? A lobster or a crab? I can't remember. Haven't actually looked at the others. I love octopus. Right. So, anyway, going back to my original ramblings, thank you for bearing with me, because Annie had challenged everyone to, like, do mixed media. It's like, you know what, I'm going to. So, this is actually one half of a cardboard envelope that I had some stuff delivered in, and I traced the octopus from Annie's picture, so Annie's artwork that Annie and Tom worked really hard on, which is why we don't want to rip it off. And I had rice paper, which I have somewhere. Oh, I know. I have started a video of my. Sorry, I'm like cluttering around getting stuff. So I've started a video of my journal for all seasons, which I know I am 9 months late. But if you're from K3N's group, you know I've been working on other stuff. Big project. So I'm just showing you this because I started working on my thing. But that's what I mean. Is like I'm just jumping at all these projects I've been wanting to do. So this is the rice paper I used for my on the cardboard. So I just use this as tracing paper, and I kind of like that it decardboarded the cardboard, you know, kind of smoothed it out, gave it a kind of nice and neutral colour to work with. And what I'm doing is and it just inspired idea, I have no idea where it comes from, is crocheting chains, and I have a tin, because we all know that there's never any biscuits in the tin. It's all, now this was given to me absolutely chocker full. Had these in as well. Absolutely chockers full. There's another blue one. I'm pulling out the blue ones for the it's a bit grey. I might use that for the sea around the octopus. So yeah, no biscuits, biscuit all gone. But whole bunch of, and this was for, I think, long stitch or something. So what I want to do is finish this tentacle. Now I think I might, how do I want to do this? I think I should put another, I might come around with a pink. So I've just been kind of making chains and then cutting them as needed, because this is not for exhibition, or I have someone who I think I might give it to, who I know loves sea creatures, so, but it'll just be like a friendship gift. It's not, you know, I don't need to make sure it's like, you know, art gallery worthy. I'm going to just put a dot here, and the good thing with this is you can really put the smallest amount, and I've been using my crochet hook not only to crochet but to poke things into the hot glue, because hot glue hurts, as I'm pretty sure most of crafters know that by experience, not just by logic. Okay, so you can see I can get a pretty small line, put that back in my thing, and I'll go with a knot end, and I want, because with a crochet chain you have the bumps up here or the kind of little V's, so I want the V's because that's what I've been using. I mean, I could change at some point to get a different texture, but I think my brain would like that, to be honest. I think I'll just stick with doing this. And so what I've been doing is like putting it on and then going, okay, I need to crochet a bit more. Now this has an end, so I will have to make a whole new chain, but that's alright. I'll just crochet to the end and then we'll work out. Are you in shot? Yeah, okay. Oh, that, I'll just move that to the side. I do apologise for my very messy desk. It's I've just been too fixated on doing craft to clean my desk. Like, I don't want to waste craft time doing something like cleaning the desk. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. It's not like that all the time. It's just right at the moment I just seem to be like, oh, I don't want to stop. Don't make me stop. So yeah, that's probably why in the last 2 days I've started like 3 different projects, which, you know, I have no issue with. I'll get done when they get done. And like I said, I don't have anything with deadlines anymore. At the moment, which is a nice change of pace. So I can just start projects and finish them when I can. So yeah, I mean, with all the stitch alongs and all create alongs and all that, I honestly doesn't stress me out to not keep up. Used to, very much so, and then I realised that I just couldn't do it. You know, it kind of started when I was working and had small kids, and I just couldn't keep up with all the things, and then it became, you know, I was working several jobs at once, and just, you know, it was, any spare time I had was spending time with the family, or sleeping, if I could. But yeah, and so now I've kind of hit the point where it's like I have brain that's just like, no, the whole consistency of do something each day, or, you know, this routine to boop boop boop. My brain's like, I cannot fit in that box. So I've just accepted and made peace with that, and then we work in our perimeters, which makes it more joyful and less stressful. And although when I was in England, I bought some beautiful wool when I was in Dorset with Catherine, and because I always buy wool from a trip and make something. So when I was in New Zealand, I bought wool. I've got wool from Canada to make something, and this is the other one I bought to go with it. I did start a shawl with this. Sorry, it's a bit messy. So you see my little triangle. That's all I've got, and I've gone back in stitching and paper crafting, but that's okay. Again, we're going into summer, so it's not a big loss to not have it done, and that's okay. But actually bought that in Dorchester, which I ended up in, but quite by a happy little accident. And that was fun. I found a rare bookstore and a wool store, and I was just like, well, these are my two favourite things in the world. I didn't find a tea store, which was a bit sad, because that would have been the perfect trifecta, but not to be. That's okay. I bought myself a couple of skeins of yarn just to make a little shoulder shawl, just as my little tradition for myself. You know, and I kind of feel like, for me personally, no judgment from anyone else, but it's my souvenir of the place I go and the memories I have, rather than buying like a knick-knack kind of thing. Does that make sense? And this glue is getting very hot and can smell it pretty much burning, so I'm going to just turn my gun off for a bit. And I've put way too much glue down, so that's actually probably going to end up drying, because I don't have enough chains chained yet. That's okay. I'm going to have to I'm trying not to pull up the stuff I've already stuck down and get my fingers in the super hot glue, so yeah. This one might be a bit looser than the other ones, just because I'm doing it at a silly angle. You still very cool. Let me just, okay, so yeah, so this is just how the project's gonna go. Is I crochet some chains, and I put some hot glue down, and then I stick the wool chains down. Oh, you see that's pulled up a bit. Is any of that still gonna stick? No, that's not gonna stick. That's alright. It's already dry, so I can crochet a lot more. I just thought it shouldn't take stupidly long, like, you know, weeks and months or whatever. It might take a couple of days. And I just thought it'd just be a nice little way to do something a bit different with the picture. Like, I was thinking of just getting my acrylic pens out and just painting, just, you know, relaxing and just chilling out, doing something. But I really love, I'm so sorry, pardon me. I really love crochet. That's still one of my, I guess, main foundation hobbies or crafts. And yeah, so to do a picture like this is just kind of fun. I used to do these when I was little, like, you know when you do the the little wooden dolly tube thing with the pins, and you go round and round and round, and I just completely blanked on what that is. Kind of like lucite knitting, but not the two-pronged one, the actual circle one. And I used to get scraps of wool from wherever and make those, and then I had felt boards with all the felt shapes, and I used to then put all the like little wool tubey things and make pictures with those. So, you know, this kind of harkens back to that. And I did single, like a single chain crochet, so I could get more details, especially with being an octopus. You know, it's not hard details, they're quite simple, and Annie and Tom have done an absolute fantastic, I forgot I turned that off, absolutely fantastic job with all the sea creature pictures. So I've got these three colours. I think for the, because you can, I don't know if you can actually discern, like this tentacle is actually behind, and so is this one is behind. This one is one of the front ones, so I want to have it this, but I quite like the idea of putting like a strip of another colour in. I'm thinking this colour actually, because we've got, oh, that's already started chains on there too. So yeah, while I'm waiting for the glue gun, I'll just go in and make a bunch of chains with whatever colour I'm using, and you know, so I have some on the ready for when I need to glue stuff down. And I am going to be covering up all these details, but I have the actual printed picture for reference, so that's alright, and I'll be able to work that out. So how are we going with my glue gun? Are you hot enough yet? I just want to kind of melt a bit of this. It's very lumpy. Are you going to put some glue down on yet? Nope, still not hot enough yet. There's a little bit there, but heat it up a lot. How rude! Okay, so I'm going to push this down. Now I haven't decided what to do. Oh, that's why it's not heating up. Wasn't set in properly. About outlining, because I think an outline would be really good, and also I can define like the tentacles a bit, where they're going a bit more. And I was thinking maybe getting a thinner, I don't know how it would look gluing down there, because I think with the glue it would be messy. I could stitch into, oh yeah, we could do that. I could actually just stitch into the side of the wool. Maybe I could just like whip those side stitches, those side loops with like black or something. I don't know, but I think it might need an outline. Oh, there we go, my glue's gluing again. Okay, lovely, doubly. Alright, put this on. That's a big blob. Let's spread it out. I don't want glue eeping up between all the, oh, what is in my crochet hook? Where are you? Here you are. Yeah, I don't want glue kind of seeping up between all the stitches, making these ugly like blobby things. I did accidentally do it over here. Can kind of see this, I don't know if you can see properly, but a bit of hard glue coming out of that bit. And I keep talking and forgetting to stick my chain down, because I don't squirrel at all. Not even a little bit. I know, that was a big fat lie. Okay. I'm going to come in and snip the tail in. Boop. Oh, and that's just brought a whole stringy of glue blobs with it. Okay. And in you go. Glad they were. Now, so I was thinking of putting... Do I need another? I do need... Oh, I might just fill it all with the orange. So the not very orange is going to be its name for this project. Because that's... What's that? This is the very orange. This is the not very orange in comparison. So we do this. So get my... I've got... Oh... You know... Australia, where as it's the 7th of September, which is actually being Father's Day today, so had a nice day with hubby and the kids, and that was lovely. But it's also the beginning of spring. It's the first week of spring has already passed, and with spring and summer comes the bugs, and so they're just bugs, Australian bugs, yeah, fun times. But only little ones at the moment. It's like, pardon me. It's like when it gets into like December and that, you're getting the really big bugs. Which I probably shouldn't talk about because that might creep some people out. So I'll stop talking about them now. I'll just try and get enough of chain to go around this loop-de-doop without me having to stop and chain more. Yep, that's going to be enough. So, I am just kind of, if there's like already dried glue in these little tiny crevices, I'm kind of just sitting the nozzle there. So the nozzle can actually might kind of melt that a bit, so I don't actually have to add new layer of glue and make it super hard and lumpy. But yeah, okay, that's not too bad. I mean, this is not perfection in any form. It is a little scruffy, I admit, but it does not mean it's bad. Just a little scruffy. Yeah. So that's where I'm at, and that's literally how I'm gonna do this picture. So I might stop videoing for the time being, just because, you know, it's probably getting a bit boring if I do the whole thing. But I will come back when I've done more. Okay, bye. Hello, I'm back. I'm doing some work on my octopus picture that I showed you earlier. You can see I've done a little bit more on it. I've just crocheted all the colours, so I'm periodically gluing it down, but I wanted to do something for the sea. So before I get stuck into finishing that off, I thought I might bring you along with me. I had a whole tangle of this, and I thought rather than using a different lot of blues and stopping and starting, I would colour this with my ink tints things. And as you can see, these are the Derwent ink tints blocks. Sorry for the glare. These are the 36 months, and they have beautiful array of colours, and as you can see from the shiny, they're not open yet. I did buy them a little while ago. I bought them during a sale, and I haven't had a chance to use them yet because I had that big project I was working on, and yeah, I knew I would just like kind of not do anything else for a while once I open them. So you get to see the great opening. Yay! And there we go. So what I want to do is, I don't really know what I want to do. What do I want to do? Does it work? Because these, I like that. These activate in terms of setting with water. And so I was wanting to just do some, it's going to take a long time if I do it that way. I wonder, it is chalk. If I get a scrapey thing, maybe if I do a scrapey thing, you're along for the ride. I have no real ideas about what I'm doing. Like, no, that's not true. I do have ideas about what I want to do. Like, I was going to do draw the crochet chain along the chalk, and I thought I'd do that. And I think that with the length of the chalk, that's going to take a very long time. Not the length of the chalk, sorry, the length of the chain is actually going to take a long time. So I'm very carefully, just with my actually good material scissors, which is probably, I shouldn't do that. Let me get another pair of scissors. I just knew they were nice and sharp. Because I don't want to take big chunks out, because I don't want to, because you know, they're not like the cheapest things, they're not like the most expensive either, but I don't want to like chunk them out. We're just getting little bits of coloured dust and just spreading it around. And I just want whole collections of blues. Maybe this is bluey purple. And then I've got a spray bottle with me, and I'll spray it. I know this is on paper. I picked paper on purpose because I have so much fluent dyed material that I've yet to use up, that I thought if I go very carefully with the water on the paper so as not to make it mush, I can use the paper for journals and stuff. And I've got like this like really thick sturdy packing paper from a parcel, so hopefully that'll take the water well enough that I can double win use the chalks on the wool, and also make some patterns on the paper. That's the plan. Whether that will actually work or not as you will find out in a few minutes. So just utilizing what I can now. Might go down to this end. Yeah, you can still see. That one. I'll do some lighter bluey greens as well, because they're, you know, ocean watercolors in some places. So we're just taking some little shavings off, barely enough to be discernible, like not wanting to really attack these, but just shaving kind of that top layer off. Let's hit this with water and see how much colour is going to come out of that, because you can see I've been mixing in the powders kind of. We'll see if I can. It's kind of just, I should have moved it over a bit, but oh well. Okay, so try and spread this out. I don't want to hit this with the water, so put it up there and spread this that so it doesn't puddle up too much. And I've got my thing still, see? Okay, I have my water spray. So we're just, oh, this is good sprayer. Oh, you can see the colours starting to pop. I like it a lot. Okay, so you can see it's gonna. Now I don't want to soak the paper too much, so I am going to make a pile, hit the top of the wall, and then just use my fingers to mush that all in. And I think it's looking very nice. It's not really variegated, I've kind of blended everything in together, which I kind of expected, but it is slightly nuanced, if that's, if you can, I don't know if you can see which is what I like. But I want to get the wool completely wet now. I wonder if I should have soaked it first. I'm going to do another one, so I will soak that wool first to see how then that reacts to the powder getting dropped on it. So but we can see that now, like, because it's totally wet now, and I'm going to put some more of the powder on. Just want to get this really wet to the point where water can be squeezed out. Okay, cool. So, oh, I really like that colours. Still some white bits there. Can you see that all right? Okay, cool. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'll just give my hands a bit of a wipe on this cloth that I've had for a long time. Bringing back this, and I am just going to move the paper over a bit so I can put this down without putting in a puddle. And what do we want to do? Let's, right, I haven't used this one. Let's hit it with something really dark. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to focus on just putting some dark right in that spot. I'm not going to mush it up. I'm just going to leave it there for that dark to hit just that bit, and then I'm going to come in with a old brush that the kids had when they were in primary school. What colour is this? I'm not really sure. Like a pewter maybe? I'll do a little bit over here. Okay, just a little spot there. And then come in with this really nice blue. Gonna do a little, I don't wanna, oh, that's the side I scraped, I think. Now we're just gonna scrape a little bit more, just put a blob in that area. And then we'll come in with a green. Go really green on that area. I think I got more of the, oops. For some reason, this one I just keep taking stripe, like little tiny stripe chunks out. Okay. I really like this aqua colour, which you might not be able to see because it's kind of the base colour at the moment. But maybe we can make it like more solid, give it a bit more substance in this area. Oh, might be a good idea to do some yellow. Bring out that lightness. I like this golden yellow. Okay, maybe over here in this little patch. much. Yep. And maybe a little bit over here. Okay, so there we go. So again, I'm just going to move this because I want to spray them. And I'm just going to give each little area that I put shavings on a spray. That's the green, the blue, other green. Okay, and then I've got my Dobby brush. Not Dobby as in from Harry Potter, but as in I like dubbing with it. And then I'm just, yeah, this is, yeah, it was when the kids I had in preschool. I use it for like glue, and it's just kind of really sturdy. And my kids are 20, so we have had it since they were like in preschool. It's a good brush. My kids were good at looking after their art equipment though, so nice clean up, so kudos to them for that. And just move this green around and go in here and smush the yellow in a bit more. Okay, ooh, there we go. So now you can see the variations like much stronger now. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Okie dokie doke. I wonder if I can just press that. No, see if I can get any more colour on the other side. Oh, I can apparently. That's really cool. Okay. No. Okay. Just will split this around the edges. Just get some colour. Colour everywhere. There we go. Okay. So, alright. Well, I'm going to wring that out properly and let that dry, and then I will come back when I am putting on the cardboard. Okay, see you soon. Bye. Hello, and I have returned. Sorry, I'm giggling because my offspring and I always sing a song every time I say I'm back, and we go from outer space, and then I was trying not to do that. So anyway, I am here. I've done, as you can see, I've done more work on my octopus picture. Now, I'm not naive enough to think I invented this kind of craft, but I genuinely have not seen any videos of anyone doing this. It was an idea when I was sat watching a live stream of Annie Claxton, and she challenged everyone while we were doing the live stream to do a mixed media picture with a colouring in picture or a stitch picture or something. And I had a whole bunch of scraps of wool to the side of my desk, and I was like, what can I do with these? And because I love crocheting, I was like, I'll crochet, but like I don't want to make another blanket, scarf, hat, like, or I didn't, my headspace was in the right space to do an amigurumi. So, and then this just like, well, I had this picture of this octopus that I was going to do a stitch version of, and my brain went, well, why not crochet it? And so, yes, I believe there are probably other people out there that are doing this exact same thing, but I have no reference for that. So I don't want anyone to think I'm ripping someone else off and not giving credit. I just genuinely have not seen that at all. So yes, this is my picture. So I think I showed you when I first started in the picture, you could the board it's cardboard covered with rice paper, so it would adhere better to the rice paper than just the shiny cardboard. And then I have just like had scraps of yarn, and happily enough I had scraps that like were octopuses can be any color really, but I like this color for the octopus. And so I had a session where I just crocheted everything into the long crochet chains, and then I've just been gluing it down. Now I started with my hot glue gun. I wasn't really happy with it because it did bloob out a bit. So I did end up getting from Amazon this. It's a pack of three, $10 I think. Oh, it could be more than that. I can't remember. If anyone wants the link, let me know. So yes, I've been doing that, and I put some. Oh, I should turn my hot glue gun on. Actually, speaking of hot glue gun, turn my hot glue gun on so we can use that in a bit. And I put some in this little tiny precise applicator bottle, which was absolutely brilliant to do the blue outliner with, just to define, you know, all the tentacles and stuff. So I have added blobs for the suckers, and I don't know if I can be able to get on camera. They're actually popping out, so it's a bit of texture. Not sure how well that's showing up, but yeah, so there's a bit of texture there, and obviously there's not accurate amount of like the suckers for an octopus, but that's okay, it's a picture. So and I thought I would show you how I did them. So I'm just going to lay that over. No, I don't want to do that. Change my mind. So I have put my hot glue gun on, and it's heating up. So how I made these to represent the suckers, they're just a little circle of hot glue. Sorry, is that, yep. And then I squished some of the crochet chain into it. So we go like, oh, that was just a little bit coming out. Not sure that actually works. Will work. Okay, and then just wrap it around the blob and squish it down like so. I might wait for the glue gun to heat up a little bit more. It didn't really give me enough glue, and I need to put a new glue stick in anyway. So just give me a sec. Okay, so and while the glue gun's heating up a little bit more, I'll find somewhere to what I might do. So the good thing about doing it this way is I can actually cut them to do the half ones, you know, just for perspective, like, you know, and they're really easy to glue on too, because you can just add a little bit more glue. Also with the C, so I coloured this with you, and it was dry white wool that then I shaved some Derwent Inktense chalk blocks onto, and then sprayed with water and mushed up to get the thing. Now I ran out very close to the end, which was a little bit frustrating, but I wanted to try what it would be like. I'll just bring you down, excuse my if it's in the way. I wanted to try what it was like if the wool was wet first, and I did the exact same colours, and I even did less of the chalk shavings, because I mean I did the whole bundle, so but it came out a lot more vibrant. Same colours. This is on dry and then spraying it and sort of smushing it in. This is completely wet and then putting the chalk dust on and then smushing it in. So you can see it's actually come out quite a bit more colourful. It's the exact same colour palette colour chalks that I used. Excuse me, having tea. Okay, so I thought I would bring you along just to finish off this picture. So we're doing the, I'm going to show you the last one, a little bit longer for my glue gun, I think. But how I've been doing the sea and doing this, just really simple as, let me show you in frame, just glue, and then stick it down. Now I do have been thinking about doing a stitched version of this, which I will, like, I think it looks like it does look like embroidery and it's called a chain stitch, funnily enough, actual embroidery where you're doing the chain stitch. So some of you might be thinking, why would you bother doing it that way when you could just do the chain stitch with embroidery? That's a really good question, and the answer is just like because I can. Yeah, just, you know, trying different things and different mediums, and also the biggest thing is like using up little bits of scrap yarn. And I love the idea of making pictures out of all the scraps that, you know, I mean, you can make a scrappy blanket or other things, but I have so many blankets in my life. I don't really want to make another one, to be honest. Not a crocheted one anyway. But I did think of doing little pictures where I sew the crochet chains on. So it'll be just a different type of look to embroidering a chain stitch and doing all the colours, colouring in and stuff with satin stitch and chain stitch and split stitch and all that, which is, I know, what people make embroidery pictures with, and a whole bunch of other stitches, but it's just another way to do art. And it's also really kind of beginner friendly. If someone wants to make a textile art picture, you only need to know how to glue things down and do a chain stitch, and you know, that's it. So in that terms, it is a lot. It takes a lot less brain work. It's very meditative. I've really enjoyed doing this. Which is why I want to try it with a stitching way to see, you know, if the stitching is just as fun, because, you know, we'll see how that goes. Because when Annie Claxton, who released this picture, this is her copyright picture, I will link, I've said that I will link the video where she talks about these pictures. So if you want to go and purchase your own set of copies, it's a whole set of under the sea animals that you can do. So it's not just the one picture, as a handful. I can't remember exactly how many, sorry, but I do know there's more than one, and it's a good deal because it's only a couple of pounds. So yeah, definitely worth it because they're absolutely amazing pictures, and they're also vector images, which means they won't lose any quality no matter how big or small you make them. And they also have A3 options, where even if you don't have an A3 printer, you can print it as A3 and it prints it onto A4s and you can stick them together. So good options there. So I thoroughly recommend, if you want to do some seascapes with underwater animals, you go and you go get Annie's pictures because they're lovely. And there we go, the last little bit of the sea is done. Just that little corner, I will just sit, and I've had to, if you're gluing Had to redo a couple of bits where I've smooshed it too hard and the glue's just come up through the top and then it's looked really minky. So just be gentle when you're tapping it down, and if you need to go in and put another dab of glue in later, then do that. Now I don't know how durable this kind of thing will be, in all honesty, so I have no plans for it other than just doing it. So glue gun's ready, so I'm just going to put a little dot there, and this is the half circle, and it just goes on. It's really that simple. I love it. This really is a good friendly, easy brain gentle activity if you want to do something pretty, and if you have a bazillion yarn scraps around. Okay, so I'll just show you the rest of this because the circle wasn't as big as I wanted it to be honest. So I've just got a silicone mat here, because the hot glue just peels off silicone mat as easy as. So see, I'm just making it a little bit bigger. I might come around a little bit more. Just be careful with the hot glue gun because it's in the title, it's hot. Jack's just laughed at me. Probably because the amount of times I've burnt myself is ridiculous. But yes, there we go. And that's how I did the circles. And then, is it ready to peel off? And then peeled off. It's not quite as dry as I usually let it go because I let it sit there and do something else. But yeah, so that's how I did the circles. And the good thing also with doing it on the hot glue gun circle blob is you can trim it to shape. So I just cut around and just cut off the fuzzy bits, and it still works. Still a nice little textured circle for your octopus tentacles. So what I might do is cut this one in half as well. Yep. And then another dob here. I'm going to put that half there. Oh, that's a bit big. I don't like that there. We're going to swap that out. And I'll put him there. Okay, so this one's actually smaller, so that's good. That works out. I am going to trim it down a little bit so you can see. I don't know. Does that even work? See, the fluffy bits are coming over the sides, so I'm just going to shape that a bit. See, and then it's with the hot glue backing, it's really easy to shape. So there we go, and that one can go where I put the other one. And so that is, I'm going to move that mat. That is pretty much finished. And what I've been doing with the edges is I've just been cutting them, like not worrying about them falling apart, because I'm not crocheting, moving them around other than sticking them down. So as you can see, I've got, that needs a little bit more glue to stick on. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, if it needs, like, if I'll put a frame on it, or I'm going to mount it, or stick it in a book, or I'm not really sure. If I do something with it, so you can just show you that I'm just trimming up the edges, because they're all glued down, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it gets a bit fluffy either on the edges. Completely out of shot, sorry. Whoopsies. I was trying not to knock over my tea. Yeah, if I do something else with it, I'll show you in a subsequent video, but at the moment it's just a picture for picture's sake, and that's sometimes the best kind of art we can do, really. There we go. So that's just, I can trim that off right here. This is all scissor for all materials, so it doesn't matter if I cut paper with it. You know, and if I wanted to, which depends if I do, I could get all these little nubby bits and glue them into the little gaps here where I've looped it around. It hasn't quite filled in properly. But I don't know that I need to do that. I don't know. I might keep them and wrap them in a little piece of tissue paper and then stick them to the back of the board, so if I do decide, I still have them. But that is, without knocking over my tea keeps getting in the way, that is the finished project, my woolly octopus. So yeah, so thank you for joining me along on this little art adventure, and hopefully you can do something similar or inspired. If you do, please feel free to let me know, tag me on Instagram, and I would happily see your artworks. Until next video, take care, bye bye.